Thank you for joining me for another cup of liberty and another video in this series on authoritarianism. So in the last video we were talking about the nature of the reaction on the left, the authoritarian left, to the normative threat that is represented by living in a country that would vote for someone who those folks believe is so despicable as Donald Trump. And they feel under normative threat, not just because Trump is president per se, but because there's this society that would support him despite all of the things that they see that make him beyond the pale, right? So all of a sudden now they're shocked because they find themselves in a country full of people that they completely can't even understand. So they start to feel alienated from their own culture, from their own society. And so the authoritarian reaction, meaning the institutionally coercive reaction, is to get rid of those highly divergent cultural and moral elements, right? Or to try and rein them in, you know. And one of the ways they do that on the social justice warrior left, I'm going to use that phrase. I don't mean it as a derogatory. I know a lot of people do. A lot of the hard cultural left use that term for themselves anyway, but just so we know who we're talking about. I'm talking about those people who would say the following and are saying the following, and this is what I want this video to be about. Your speech is dangerous. Your opinion and your expression of it are threatening to me. They are violent. Now, why would I claim that your speech is violent? Because then it justifies my coercion against you, right? If I label your speech as hate speech, like, so it's some different kind of speech. It's speech that hurts, that does harm, and it's therefore not protected. It's not just speech anymore. Now I am justified in doing whatever I want to do. I am justified in my coercion against you. I am justified in harming you, in eliminating some of your rights to protect me, because all I'm doing is protecting myself. Okay. But you see, this is the most dangerous thing of all. Because it does so much more than oppose a political view. It's actually telling a very profound lie. And it's telling the most dangerous lie you could possibly tell. Why? Because it's this. If I claim that your speech is violent against me, then what I'm saying is it's like physical violence. In other words, what you say harms me in a way I have no control over. It's just as if you punched me and I couldn't control the pain. Or you shot me and I couldn't control the fact that I bled. Right? But what makes us human? What makes us moral agents is we get to choose how to react to the things around us, to the opinions around us, to the ideas around us. We get to choose how to assimilate and respond to the emotions we feel when people say things that we don't like. They may say things we don't like about our opinions. They may even say things that we disagree with about who we are. But what makes me human is that I get to choose how I'm going to feel in the next moment and how I'm going to act in the next moment. In other words, it's the fact that your opinions and speech do not affect me like physical violence that makes me human. Descartes built modern Western philosophy on I think, therefore I am. The I think bit is the bit that happens between me hearing you calling me something I don't want to be called and then what I do about it. And it is only because I do that, because I think that I am human, that I know myself to be human. So here's the paradox at the core of the social justice warrior left philosophy. They are telling you that unless you agree with me things about me and the groups with which I identify, unless you agree with me about those things, maybe about gender, that's a classic one, then you are doing violence against me and you are invalidating me. You hear this a lot on the hard cultural left, right? You're invalidating my existence. If you're going to say that, I need a safe space. No. If you say speech can be violent against you, then what you're saying is you cannot mediate that gap. You can't be in that gap. You can't think in that gap between what comes at you and what comes from you. You are denying your fundamental ability as a human. You're denying your own humanity. I'm not doing it. You know, I don't call you "je" as some kind of Chinese sounding weird gender pronoun. No, I'm not denying your humanity. If you tell me that that is an act of violence against you, then you're telling me you don't get to be human in your response to me. You're the one denying your own humanity. You're the one invalidating yourself. That's a core lie. And I started this series of videos with mention of George Orwell. It happens to be the lie that George Orwell would have been most terrified of all of the lies that we're hearing today. And we'll talk more about that a bit later. So thanks for being with me. This is Robin Koerner, and I'll be back soon.